unboxing the Pulsar X2H. This is a brand new mouse from Pulsar. I'm very excited about this. Let's get it unboxed, but if you want to check it out, there's Amazon links below, but really like the packaging. This feels absolutely no different than a name brand mouse from something like Razer, which I think is impressive. They really have a great graphic design, so that moved around a little bit, but overall, I love that unboxing. This is kind of like a cream brown. The box is awesome. Wow, this is really good. They're really stepping up their game. So we have Pulsar there, a nice looking shape, kind of reminds me of the Logitech G305 Lightspeed. We've got really good looking skates on the bottom. I love how they maintained this design from their other mice. You can see the PCB down there. We have one small skate around that sensor and then a big rounded off one and one down here that's very reminiscent of the G Pro X Superlight. Overall, quite impressive. It feels very, very light in the hand right away. A nice grip. I really like it. It's a little bit egg-shaped, as you can see. This does come in multiple different sizes. We have the two side buttons here. It looks like we have a little bit of a light right there. Let's test out the clicks. Very little travel until the click. Still feels very much like Pulsar, which is not a bad thing. Not quite as good as BenQ or the new G Pro X Superlight 2, but I would say maybe not too far away from Razer, so definitely a top tier switch. It feels really good. The scroll wheel, nice tactile bumps. It's pretty much right there in the middle. It's not amazing, it's not terrible, but it's definitely not average, so it definitely is above that tier. Side clicks are really good. Zero travel. They don't feel mushy, they feel really good. So far, this seems like it's going to be a really good mouse. All right, let's continue on with the unboxing because that's what this is. And look at that, wow, that was so nice. It like unboxes and you've got some little pull tabs there. Really a well thought out brand. I think Pulsar is going to become a very, very big company in the future. And look at that. I love the color matching there. They didn't cheap out here. This looks awesome. Wow, Pulsar is really bringing it, making you feel like you're really buying a special product here. Now, even though this is just a basic lightweight cable, it's red. That already makes you feel like they're not cheaping out. They actually matched this to the exterior color. The other things you can see here is that it's branded Pulsar and it's a little bit curved right there. Again, makes you feel like this was purpose built for it. We can see the USB-C right there. And when you plug it in, it raises up off the desk so it doesn't drag. That's almost like having your own mouse bungee. I haven't tested this, so I don't know how it is, but that is really cool. As we can see here, I know that you can't see it, but it's like this high off of the ground all the way up until right there. That's pretty impressive. So you can see when it pulls straight, that's how it's pulling. This is very cool. That's actually really cool. I'm excited to test out if that makes a difference when plugged in. Also in the box, we have color matched little envelope with some paperwork. You have some of the stats and specs that almost looks like a baseball card. That's pretty cool. You have red edition sticker, and then you have some paperwork on like setups and basically your manual. And then lastly, we have a box right here that you just pull up and look at how that's presented. Look at that. You just pull up right there and there it is. Okay, so this is a USB-C to USB-A, which essentially is used as a dongle extender. So if your PC is way away from your setup, you can plug this in to that USB-C just like that. It has rubber on the bottom, and then you plug in your dongle to this and you have a much longer reach to being closer to your mouse. So that's really nice. And again, branded Pulsar, again red, this feels great. I am really happy with this mouse. Just from the unboxing experience, I pray that this holds up when we're actually testing it because I want to love this mouse a lot. But with that, let's get to the full review. The Pulsar X2H coming in at a price tag of only $99.95 for either the medium or the small. I think they call it the mini sizes actually. But for that price, this is a phenomenal mouse. They knocked this one out of the park. The sensor here is the 3395 sensor. It's like as good as you're ever gonna need. This hits a 1000 hertz pulling rate, but you can get Pulsar's 4000 hertz dongle. So if you wanna do that, you can purchase that, but it is separate. Up to 26,000 DPI, 650 IPS, and 50 Gs of acceleration. Now the build quality here is great. As good as the name brands. This feels solid. The design is minimal on the top with just the Pulsar logo, and then the underneath of the mouse gets that cool open design that they put on the X2. As for the shape, it's very much like an egg shape. The bump, the apex of that bump is very much towards the back, which I honestly really liked. Even with the palm grip, which I am a palm gripper, the only thing touching is really your palm and your fingertips, which almost makes for an interesting and very enjoyable design. It kind of like forces a claw grip when you're palm gripping. It's very interesting, it's very cool, and it actually seems to give more leverage to your fingertips that kind of feels like it's a little bit more precise in game, but overall really comfortable, and I was getting kills and really enjoying it, and that's the thing that matters. So claw grips and palm grips are gonna feel at home with this thing. It's a very unique experience that I honestly think a lot of people will actually enjoy. It's not something that a lot of people are gonna go, whoa, that's weird, I don't like that. I think the feeling is gonna be, that's different and I like it. That's what I'm assuming most people are going to think. For color options, you can get this in black, red, or white. The skates here are 100% PTFE with a similar design to the Superlight from Logitech, having one large skate on the top, one around the sensor, and then one around the bottom. This glides very fast, but still pretty smooth. There is a bit more friction that you can kind of hear when using it, but no drag. For how fast this mouse is, it still feels nice and controlled, and I think that's really due to the shape of it. That's pretty typical with egg shape though, you typically get a nice grip on them. Now for battery life and connectivity, obviously wireless with a 2.4 gigahertz USB dongle. It charges via USB Type-C and there is no Bluetooth connection, although not a deal breaker for me, but it might be for you. One thing to mention here is the design of the USB-C cable that they include is phenomenal. It's the best one that I've ever seen for like a wireless mouse that is also a lightweight mouse. It slightly angles up, making the lightweight cable kind of arc over and not touch the desk right where the mouse is touching the desk. It is so stupid simple, but it is such a smart design that actually makes a difference. When you're using this wired, it's a non-issue. I could game all day with this. It feels wireless. So if it does happen to die mid-game, it's not gonna be a problem and it probably will not affect your performance. As for battery life, this gets a claimed 90 hours of battery life and there's no RGB to really change that. Now the switches here uses Pulsar's optical switches. This is one of the best attributes of this mouse. The switches do two things that you really want in a switch, which is not very much travel till click and not very much travel after the click with a very solid bottom out feel. This is extremely impressive how quickly they press and then again, how quickly they bottom out and how firm it feels. Really good there. Also very little wobble with the actual full left and right clicks themselves. They just don't move very much and it makes for a very solid feeling mouse. In fact, this wobbles less than a G Pro X Superlight 2 or a Razer Death Adder V3. Impressive. Now the two extra side buttons here, the clicks are immediate with almost no travel. And like the left and right click, it has a firm but quick bottom out, which really shows the attention to detail that Pulsar used with this mouse. This kind of stuff does not happen by accident. That was purposely done, and I think it's a fantastic mouse because of that. Really, the best attribute here is going to be the shape, how it fits in your hand, and then the switches themselves. Good job, especially for the price point, because $100, while it's not budget for this segment of the market, it kind of is. Now the scroll wheel here has heavier tactility than I was expecting, which is a good thing, but I think they're just a tad close together. But overall, a pretty good scroll wheel. To finish it off with the weight, this is a faster mouse, so you'd expect it to be light, and it is. It's the lightest on the list at 54 grams. Again, if you want to check out this exact same product, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. And if you want to check out my main channel with longer form content, you can check that out right here. But this is a consumer tech review high speed, and I'll see you guys in the next video.